How did our society come to value money? More specifically, how did we come to value our current currency system, known as fiat currency? If the scientists were to discover an extraterrestrial life tomorrow, we can't conduct business with them using our US dollar. For them, it's just a paper for them. As an investor, it's important to understand the underlying value of money and have a plan to protect the underlying value from a potential threat. So let's talk about that. The power of money comes from the consensus of value between two parties. For example, when I was in middle school, Pokemon cards were very popular. During lunchtime, I can bring my Pokemon card and trade it for my favorite snack, fruit roll-ups, with my friend. And that transaction was possible because my friend and I both thought Pokemon cards was cool and valuable. And then the value of Pokemon card varied based on the availability. If I had a legendary Pokemon card, I can trade that for multiple fruit roll-ups. And that's how the money works today. If you and I agree on the value of money, I can use that to purchase your goods or services. If you had a choice of a superpower of creating money out of thin air or a super purchasing power where you can buy anything you want without money, which one would you pick? I would pick the purchasing power. Because if you create money out of thin air, eventually you'll expand the supply. You might be able to buy cars or mansion or whatever you want, but the supply will increase and then the value of money will come down. In fact, central banks have the power of creating money, and they have the power and responsibility of protecting our monetary value. But with mismanagement, they could potentially destroy it. Inflation is one of the biggest threats when it comes to currency value. If you talk to your grandparents or dad about value of money back then, during their time, they'll tell you that they could purchase more grocery with the dollar we have today. It's because of inflation. Inflation is rise of the price level of goods and services over periods of time. We talked about central government having the power of controlling the supply of money. They actually control the money supply such that they target about 2% of inflation every year. That's a big deal. If that level continues for 35 years, the dollar you know today will be worth half as much in 35 years from now. And that has great implication when it comes to investing as well. So if the inflation target is about 2% and my portfolio is making about 1%, I'm losing about 1% every year when it comes to my return. And that same applies for your salary. If your current salary increased 2% annually, you're actually getting paid same amount year after year. So it's important to keep that in mind. Investors like you have multiple options and tools to protect against inflation. The first and foremost, the popular option is through precious metals and commodities. The precious metals and commodities are a good hedge against inflation because central banks can't easily come in and influence the supply. In fact, central banks has been one of the biggest purchaser of gold bullions last couple of years. And last year, they have purchased more gold bullion since 1971. The second option is through investing in companies who have consistently been giving out dividends to the investors. The dividends is the way of companies sharing their profit through cash through the investors. And the streamline of cash can help investors to protect against the inflation. And then the third and honorable mention is through cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin. The Bitcoin has been designed such that the supply of Bitcoin creation is purely controlled by the code base, and no central authority can come in and change that supply. It has been a biggest social experiment since 2008 and it has happening today. And there's the biggest debate around whether or not it could serve as a store of value or it can fight against inflation. And it has shown effective so far in countries like Venezuela, who has been struggling with inflation. So now you understand the options. In next couple of videos, I'm going to publish my trade view around the precious metals such as gold and silver and commodities, as well as some cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin. So if you're interested in seeing this video, please subscribe to my channel. Now you understand the underlying value of money, and it's time to protect it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let us analyze, learn, and invest.